Hello, I'm Rachel Moger and welcome back to Healthy Cooking Tips. Today we're going to make butternut squash soup. It's my family's absolute favorite. Everyone that I've made this soup for falls in love with it. So simple, but yet really bold flavor, and we're gonna go over those ingredients right now. So we have butternut squash, of course, is the staple. This squash is terrific for your health. It's got an ample dose of fiber, potassium for bone growth, B6 vitamins, that's essential for proper function of nervous and immune system. It's got vitamin A, which is a deterrent against breast cancer and age-related muscular degeneration. The folate content is great for a healthy heart, and it's really high alkaline. It keeps you balanced. Chronic disease is related to acidity. Now, because it's so high alkaline, it can kind of dry out your hands. So the hardest part of this whole dish is going to be peeling it and making sure you wash your hands off. We're going to use an onion, chopped coarsely. We're going to use either vegetable broth or you can use chicken broth. Now, I recommend obviously organic, and if you have it fresh, you've made it yourself, that's even better. We're going to use a little bit of salt and just a pinch of cayenne and some raw butter if you've got it. You can also skip the butter, maybe use some coconut oil if you'd like. So as I mentioned, the hardest part is really just peeling and dicing the squash, which really isn't so hard. I like to use a potato peeler, and you're just going to roll down the squash, right, like so, making nice big stripes down. Now that it's peeled, we're just going to go ahead and cut off the ends. It was attached and the bottom part, like so. And again, this is a hard squash, so watch your fingers, okay? It's kind of like cutting a pumpkin. Once we get this open, then we are going to discard the seeds. And you just scrape it out into your scrap bowl, like so. And you don't have to be too worried about getting all the strings, because we're going to puree this soup. So no one will know the difference. We just want to make sure we get all the seeds out. Next, you're just going to go ahead and I usually cut this in half. Again, just doing very big chunks. We're just going to puree it. So we're going to put it in the pot and get it nice and soft, just like so. So you're going to take your coarsely chopped butternut squash, dump that in, and your one onion just chopped in big chunks is fine. Again, we're going to puree this. Now we're going to go ahead and pour in the chicken broth, and again, I kind of like the chicken broth because I think it gives it a great flavor. And you could use, maybe you're vegetarian, you could use vegetable broth or water. And you're just going to fill it up until it reaches the top of the squash. Now, if it doesn't quite reach because you've made so much squash or your squash was large, just add in a little bit of water, a quarter cup to a cup. You don't want to put too much because you want it to be able to be, kind of a thicker soup once you puree it. So just a little bit of water, just about like that. We can always add water later. I like to go ahead and bring it up to a boil, and then you want to turn your heat down to low and let it simmer for about 15 minutes. The butternut squash is now ready to be blended. It's just easily pierced with a fork and is ready to fall apart. We're ready to go ahead and puree this, and we're going to just add in a little bit of sea salt and a little bit of pepper to kick it up a notch. So let's go ahead and add in just a dash of cayenne pepper. Actually, my husband likes a couple dashes. Blam! There we go. And a little bit of sea salt, of course, to your taste. I have a handheld blender. This is a Braun that my husband bought for me. It's awesome. It's got a splash guard on it. I can actually just put this right in and puree it without having to worry about dirtying up more dishes like, your Cuisinart or your blender. So you want to make sure this is really nice and pureed, well, kind of like, baby food. So we're just about there now. All right, that looks great. We're going to add just a dollop of butter, and you just kind of want to stir that around and let it melt in. And again, you can use coconut oil. If you had prepared more squash, you could put in some coconut milk. That tastes phenomenal. We like to eat this as dinner. I mean, you can have it as a side option if you'd like, but this is a nice, healthy, hearty dinner all by itself. And you can eat it just like this, or you can add a couple little snazzy options. We're going to just put in just a couple of raviolis, maybe 2, 3, 4, just to give it a nice chewy flavor, and not too many because we don't want to add too many carbs. So once we do that, this is going to be nice. This is amazing. Wait till you see this. We're going to drizzle just a little teeny bit of molasses, and the trick to this is just wait for it nice and slow to come to the end. Once it comes to the end of your bottle, You're gonna go ahead and zigzag across your soup, and oh my goodness, if you have guests, they're gonna think you've been in the kitchen for just hours and hours creating the most amazing special sauce on top. But look at that, beautiful. This is one of our family favorites, and I hope you enjoy your butternut squash soup.